Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today we will be making a peach soap as well as going over some announcements. Just going to take a minute here to make sure my chats are set up. So just take one moment. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Okay. All right, the chats look okay. All right. Looks like I need to grab my gloves. Let me pick those up. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to grab the spatulas and my whisk. There we go. A couple of things that I left on the shelf. All right, so we got those taken care of. I'll put them over here. All right, just getting my gloves on. So we will be cutting the soap we made on Thursday, which has a really wonderful orange fragrance. It's like orange, but a little extra. Hi, Ian. Welcome. Well, I tell you what, I haven't tasted it because I value my health, but it smells like it would be juicy. So I'll let somebody else take that risk. So first, I'm going to unmold this individual bar. I'm going to pop this out. The soap was still a little bit soft when I unmolded the large bar, so yeah, it's still a little soft. There we go. That's okay. It'll firm up as it cures. So that's how this individual bar turned out. And let me just make a spot for it real quick. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm just going to set that aside. Okay. And this one here is where we're putting the extra batter. So I'm just going to leave that there so we can continue adding additional batter. I'm just going to set that aside. Okay. And it looks like when I made the swirls on top of the soap here, on top of this one, I made them going across from how I would be slicing the bars. So that's going to make a little bit different pattern. That's going to be kind of cool. So let me go ahead and line this up. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so here is the first one. Has some really pretty light and dark pink swirls with that white. You might remember when we made this, I went ahead and divided the orange into two sections and added a little bit of white to some of it. So we got this really yummy, like creamsicle type color uh, pattern going on. Oh, it smells so good. It smells really, really sweet too. There's this side. It almost looks like a paisley design or something. Okay, and here's how that last bar came out. And then, of course, we've got the end pieces here, which we can cut up for samples later. And this is how the tops look. Whoops, like that. So the swirls go across the bar like that instead, which looks really nice. I'm going to go ahead and set these on the shelf. And for the peach soap today, I thought we'd use the column mold and do a pull-through design instead of using the cube mold that I've been using. And have it shaped more like a peach that way. All right, just cleaning off my gloves real quick. I'm just going to clean the slicer and then I will put this back. Okay. All right. I'm going to put this here. Okay. So I do have a couple announcements that we can possibly go over while I get things set up for the soap. The first thing is that the soaps that I made previously over the past couple of months, I'm finally getting those packaged and ready to put in my shop. And it looks like I tore this glove. Let me go get a new glove. One moment. Just a moment here. Just getting a new glove. Hi, Lorna. Welcome. Okay, so those soaps that I made previously, I am now finally able to get them packed up and ready to put in the shop. The delay was just that I got sick twice and just didn't have the energy at all to do it. So um, I really am grateful for you guys being patient with me while I recovered, and I'm going to be posting those on the on my shop in a couple of days. So you should expect to see those. Also, um, let's see. Okay, so starting on the 20th, I'll be running a sale for all of my clearance soaps. The clearance soaps are the soaps that have been kind of hanging around for a while. There's nothing wrong with them. Although some of them did darken a little bit. That's kind of natural. It's like a normal thing the soap will do over time. Is it'll sometimes it'll darken a little bit. So I do have those in clearance. And for everybody else, if you are not already on my email list, go ahead and sign up. There's going to be a link in the video description here. What that is if I have any sales or anything, I go ahead and send an email out to let you guys know. And what I'm going to be doing is offering a 20% off code for the entire shop. So if you want that, if there's something that you want and it's not one of the clearance soaps, then just make sure that you're on that email list, and I will send you the code to get 20% off of everything. So anything in the shop, even the fragrances and everything. So I'm going to be doing that. The email is going to go out tomorrow, so look for that. Let's see. Just checking my list to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, and then the other thing is, I know a couple of days ago, excuse me, I'm still battling that cough a little bit, so I might be drinking water here and there. A couple days ago, I mentioned that I had a new project I was trying to see how you guys liked it and see if it would, just see if it would work out. It was a suggestion that somebody had made ages ago, and I just didn't have the resources at the time to pursue it. So I went ahead and got some of those things, and I wanted to share that with you. And I'll be doing that in a little bit. First, I want to show you what I'm going to be putting in this soap so that we can get started on making it. And let me just see. All right. So first of all, I'm going to be using these two colors. They're both kind of a peachy tone. This is like a peachy. This is called Cantaloupe by Nurture Soap, and it's a very peach, like a peachy peach. It's very nice. This one is Amaranth, which is a peachy pink. Well, at least it is in my opinion. I think these look really good together. These two. It's very, very pretty. So we're going to be doing a swirl with these two colors, a pull through, like you know, the pull through tool swirl. And then just mixing this up again. This is the white, the titanium dioxide. I will be adding that. So we'll be using these three colors. Let me just set these aside. And I'm going to pull out the mold too so that it's not, there we go. So there's the mold. Okay. And then the fragrance I'm going to get these. These are the squeeze tubes we'll be using for the colors. I put the fragrance way back here. I'll show it to you. It's simply called Peach, and it's the most delicious, juicy, almost like a peach candy type peach. It smells very, very good. I like this a lot. So we'll be putting that in. And again, it's a fragrance that's new. That's why I got a small bottle of it. I wanted to see how it would behave in the soap. So I don't know if it's going to accelerate or how it's going to behave in the soap. So we're going to do a test. I'll probably add the fragrance after we divide the colors up. All right. I'm just going to get the last couple things here moved off my work surface. Things that I'm not going to be using. Okay, there we go. All right. So here is the lye water. And then I'm going to use these to divide up the colors, these two pots here. And we'll probably mix some stuff in with the whisk if we need to. Okay, I'm just going to put my face shield on. One moment. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay. So first, let's go ahead and mix the lye water with the oils. Oh, you know what? I just realized I've been doing this whole thing with the fan blowing in my face. Let me turn this off. I think I left the control for it here, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that should be a little bit better, a little less noisy. I apologize. I meant to turn that off before I started. Okay. So I'm going to separate this. Okay, I'm going to do my best to keep all this in frame. But as you know, with this mold, you can see down there the pull through tool. This makes it really hard because I've only got a few inches between this and the camera. I may have to move this off slightly in one direction or the other. So, but I'm going to do my best to keep this in frame as much as possible. Let me see what you're saying here. I don't want to sound like Darth Vader, but I guess at least it's something recognizable. Okay. Maybe I can do voiceovers for him or something. All right, let's just mix this up real quick. I'm just going to barely mix this because it's going to be in these squeeze tubes for a long time because we're going to do little bits of soap at a time. Yeah. Okay. That's plenty. Okay. Okay. And I'll start breaking these apart into different amounts. I think I'll do less white than the other two colors, maybe. And do about even-ish. Okay, that's not enough white. Let's put some back. Okay. That's probably plenty, but it's going to be difficult getting it out of the container and mixing it together. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, this seems good. Just a second here. Trying to get the lid so I can use it as a trivet. Okay. All right, so let's do the other two colors first and do the white last. White tends to make the soap accelerate. All right, so here is the more peachy color. And I'm going to mix that in real quick, just with the whisk. I can probably stick blend it if I need to, but I just want to see about how dark this color is. Yeah, that's plenty. Okay. Yeah, this color, despite being kind of a light or a pale color, is really, really potent. I don't need to use much of it. Also, if you want any of these, like colors that I use, any of the micas or anything, I have an affiliate link down below for Nurture Soap where you can get the colors and fragrances and things that I'm using on a lot of these videos. The fragrance I'm using today is not from them, but I do use a lot of their fragrances. And you can see in my other videos which ones those were. But it doesn't cost anything extra for you to use the link. It's just, it just helps me out. Okay, so here's the pink. There we go. Okay. Yep, that's a really nice shade. Now these colors are really similar in tone. They're both kind of I don't know, they're not really pale, but they're not super saturated colors, like super bold. So the white will help break that up. Okay. All right, let's do the white. I'm going to shake it up first. All right. And then we can add it. And I'm just going to mix that in by hand first. But I find that white usually really benefits from being stick blended in. Yeah. All right, so I'm debating if I want to add more. I kind of do. I want this to be very white weight. Just a second. There we go. Put a little more. And then we will stick blend it just briefly, just enough to make sure that's really blended in. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Let's not risk it with the stick blending. Okay. So these are the different containers I'll be using to put the batter in the molds. Let's start with, I was going to start with the white, but I think I'll start with the pink. And actually, we'll start with the peach. Well, not the pink. There's a little bit more pink than the peach, and I want to put the one that has the most in this container because it's a little taller. All right, so I'm going to really quickly mix in this peach fragrance and then pour it into here. All right. Let's put a tiny bit more in there. Okay. I just want it mixed. If we can shake it up in these, once they're in the jars, we can kind of shake it up if it needs to be mixed more, but oops. There we go. I think I'm not showing you. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and scrape these out because typically there's a lot of soap left in these tall containers after I put the batter in the mold. And I want to make sure we can fill the mold up as high as possible. So, okay. Hopefully it just doesn't start to move. So we're going to need all the time we can get. Okay, I'm just going to clean the top off so that it doesn't leak everywhere because it'll make the jar greasy and hard to hang on to. Okay. So that's how this looks. Still a bit watery, which is just what we want. Okay, let's do the peach next. This smells so good. This smells like, I don't know, like real peaches, but then also like peach candy or peach bubblegum or something. It's really, really good. Okay. Let's just go ahead and use this one for this. No, I'm going to use the white one for that because it has a different cap. Okay. All right, so yeah, we put the fragrance in. I'm going to pour this in. All right. Then we'll just use this to scrape it out. I apologize for blocking the camera. I think if I had an actual studio and I could put up 2 cameras so that I didn't keep blocking you guys, that would be ideal. Okay. All right. Let's set that aside. Just going to clean this off. So do you guys like peaches? I like them when they're ripe. They're pretty good. Okay, that's still pretty liquid. That's good. That's good. All right, now we do this white. Okay. Pour the rest of this in here. It's kind of a shame that bottle was so small. That would have. That's a really good one. I wouldn't mind making that one again. Okay. Just gonna wipe this off so I don't transfer the color in. All right. Let's go ahead and pour in the white. And scrape it out. You guys like them too? Awesome. They're good if you make them into like a pie or a cobbler or jam, or just sit and eat them. You can also cut them into slices and freeze them, and then when it's really hot in the summer, you've got like a peach ice cube to suck on. Okay. I'm going to set that aside. Okay. Let's wipe these off. So, there we go. I'm going to move all this aside. Okay. Put this lid on. Not sure about this particular lid. Let's just hope it doesn't leak. It looks like it fits. It fits the jar. It's just different. It doesn't have the same type of top. I don't know where that came from. I mean, I know I bought it, but anyway. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to start putting in a little bit of color at first because the end pieces sometimes they don't get a lot of, like, they get like one color on one side, and I want to see if I can fix that so the ends look more interesting. All right. And I'm going to move this white away because I don't want to mix it up with the actual white soap. That would probably not end well. All right. Excuse me. And this will probably take longer than normal to cure, or at least to firm up before I can take it out of the mold. So I might have to wait an extra day to cut it. We'll see. All right. So, let me get a clip to clip that out of the way. All right. Here's a clip. Just because I don't want this moving around on me while I'm trying to. Okay. No more delays. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start just putting in a little bit of color. And I'm not too worried about this first part going directly in the center. Let me see here. Okay. Trying to see where I'm at. I just want this in there because, like I said, I want some color down at the bottom. We'll do some white. Okay. So that first slice, yep, that looks good. Okay. So at first, the first one's going to have color, like more marbled like the other slice as well. I'm going to move this and try to get a good angle where you guys can see and I can still pour. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so I think what I'll do is maybe do the pink and then peach and then white. And there is a wire directly in my way. I should have planned this a little better, I think. Let me move the wire. I apologize if you get some camera shake going on. There we go. Okay, I think enough delays. All right, let's go. So what I want to do is put some down the bottom towards the center as much as I can with the camera directly in front of me. Okay, and then the weight. And then we're just gonna build up those colors. This is still very fluid. This is a very good fragrance so far. It's not going solid on me at all yet. So from what I can tell right now, this looks like a good fragrance to do this with. Oops. Sorry for bumping you there. All right, so more about that announcement. One of the suggestions I got from somebody, and I apologize, it's been so long. I don't remember who, and I'm sure it was more than one person. I remember it being more than one, but I know people have been asking me about things like air fresheners. And at the time, like I said, I just didn't have information on how to do it, or like really a way to get the materials. But I've been slowly collecting some things because I do have a lot, and I mean a lot of fragrance oils. I have some gigantic um, jars basically of fragrance oils, like those little ones that you see me use in the videos. Most of those are small on purpose because I haven't used a fragrance before. I don't know, how it's going to work in the soap. Um, I don't know if people are going to like it. I think I just did this out of order. That's okay. Um, and but when I first started buying fragrances, there were some that I thought, oh wow, this is going to smell so good, and it did. And I'm going to have to start tilting these upside down so that the soap comes to the end. Anyway, they did smell really good, but sometimes they just didn't perform well in the soap. Like maybe I had a lot of them that just turned the soap brown, or um, for a variety of reasons. Sometimes because they had vanilla, sometimes they just turned the soap brown, and I didn't know why. Um, Other times they just accelerated so fast. Like I think lilac is one of the bad ones, like really really bad. I think it is lilac. I add the fragrance to the soap and it's pretty much solid almost immediately. So I have to really be careful when I make soap with that. Um, so I can't do like larger batches of it very easily. And there's just some that like they smell fantastic, but either they aren't easy to soap with, or I just have so much of the fragrance that I'm never going to use it all up. Um, I have jars of fragrances that are larger than these tubes that I'm using, like, whoops, like larger than these things, and they're full. And you see my soap, it only needs like 1 to 2 ounces of fragrance, so that jar is going to last me forever. So, like I said, I started collecting, and I have one more peach to the top there. Um, I started collecting some things I could use to make air fresheners, and one of those things is something called aroma beads. They are a special kind of, I guess, plastic bead, and they um, they absorb fragrance oil somehow, and then they hold the scent. And then you can do a variety of things with them. You can make little sachets and put those, hang them or put them like in your drawers, or hang them in a closet, or hang them in your car. Another thing you can do with them is make something, and they've been called different names. These air fresheners, you can make air fresheners out of them, where you actually bake them into little shapes and they become ornaments. But they're actually air fresheners, and they go by different names. I've heard them called, aromies, or freshies. Um, Oops, I'm getting the soap everywhere. So aromas or freshies, or trying to think of the other names that I heard. But anyways, they're called a variety of different things, and they look really cute. And so I went ahead and tried making some. They came out pretty good. I'm going to get my little spoon really quick, and this one is running out. So let me get the thing. Anyways, they came out really cute. So I want to show you those, and I'm going to show you how I make them, and then we could talk about what we could do maybe in the future for air fresheners. I also purchased some blank air fresheners, and you can heat press them to get designs on them, which I'll be doing. And I'm going to show you how those turned out. And those are the more like traditional um, air fresheners, kind of like the little, if you've seen like the little green trees. I'm sure everybody has seen those. They're kind of like that, but they're rectangular. Hold on. Okay, we're running out of soap dough here. The last few bits. Okay. I don't want to wait too long to pull this through, because um, once the soap gets too thick, as you know, the design doesn't come out as nice. So we're getting close to that point. So I'm going to have to pull this out. So anyways, I went ahead and made those air fresheners as well. And then that way you guys, and I'll show you, and you guys can see if you like these. It might be something I can use to, to use up some of that fragrance oil that I have so much of. Hi, Patty, welcome. We're just finishing up making peach soap. You came just in time. We're going to pull this stick out. Move it here so I don't hit the camera, hopefully. Well, maybe like that. Yeah, okay. So we're going to pull this straight up slowly. And there it is at the top. Okay. Looks pretty cool. If you can see. Yep, looks good. Looks good in there. So all this looks good. I'm just going to set this aside. All right. Gently tap that. Okay. I'm going to set it aside. And then what we're going to do is put the leftover soap batter in here. Okay. There's that. Just moving stuff off of the mold. Okay. I'll go ahead and put the white on here. And we're just going to put it right in here with this other soap. We'll end up with like a layered random bar, which is fine. Okay, that's about as much as I want to finagle with that one. We'll do this peach colored next. Now the air fresheners made with the beads are really cool because, like I said, I can get different shapes and I can dye them different colors. I can add glitter. I can paint them. There's a lot of really fun options with those. And how long is this? I could possibly do a demonstration if you guys want to see it, because I have all the stuff here, and I could show you how it's made. Second here. Hold on one moment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, oops, this one has a narrower neck. Okay. Actually, I think what it is it has a lip on the inside, just like it wasn't supposed to be there. It's just there from manufacturing. On the inside, it didn't get cleaned up. I can probably trim that off if I need to, but so far, no, it's fine. I don't need to do anything. All right, so we got quite a bit of extra left over here. And this little spoon thing is really good for cleaning out these jugs. Oh, this smells so good. This is like, I don't know. I keep thinking there's real peaches in here, and then I remember it's just the soap. Okay. I'll set this aside, this aside. Okay, so the only downside, of course, to this method is the mess, but it's worth it. All right. Now, let me just, I'm going to clean up the soap, and then I will show you the air fresheners. Okay. Okay. Hi, Stacy. Welcome. You came just in time. We just did a pull-through design using the peach fragrance so that the soaps will be round like peaches. And I actually need to set this aside. And this is the extra soap batter. And then I was doing the announcements. I don't know if you were here for the announcements in the beginning, but those soaps that I hadn't been posting because I was not feeling well, I finally did package them, and they will be going up on Wednesday. So those soaps that the soaps you wanted will be available. And also, I'll be sending an email tomorrow with a code for 20% off everything. So that way, the soaps you want, you can get 20% off of. Let me just take my headset off, or not my headset, my face shield. One minute. There we go. All right. So, and then the other announcement is that I had some suggestions or requests or whatever for air fresheners, and so I was talking about making some different types of air fresheners. So the first type, let me show you the first one, is like this. It's like a normal air freshener that you would get at the store. They're like the thin rectangular shape. I put a flower pattern on this one, and this is scented with lavender. And then it has an elastic cord on the end to hang from the rearview mirror. And so it just hangs in the car. You can also hang these in closets. You just don't want this to touch any surfaces because it does have fragrance oil in here, and it is more concentrated than like the ones you get at the stores. So you don't want this to touch anything really if you can avoid it. Unless you were to keep it, they'll be packaged in like little baggies, and if you kept it in the baggie, that would probably be okay. But you don't want the freshener itself touching anything. Like my hands, for example. Now my hands smell like lavender. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe it off real quick. Okay, so the other type that is cute. Thank you. Yes, the bunny soap. Yes, the bunny soap and the wolf soap also. All right. So the other type of air freshener, they are made with these beads, and the way that you have to make these is a little bit more complicated. Although the one I showed you, the rectangular one, I have to heat press the design into those. So, but other than that, like I can usually make them and they're ready to go within a day or so. These take much longer. So you got these little plasticky beads in here, and somehow, like I was saying earlier, they absorb the fragrance. It's interesting. Never heard of plastic like literally absorbing fragrance. So one of the fragrances I needed to make, and I hadn't yet, so I decided I'd make it on here with you guys, is leather. I have a bunch of other fragrances already done, but this one is leather, and I went ahead and measured it out, and we're going to just add it to the beads, and then I'm going to show you what happens. So you got the beads, you just pour in the fragrance, and it's going to sink down. Okay, and I did grab a spatula for this because I don't want to waste the oil. This smells really good too. It really does smell like leather. I don't know. I don't know who makes fragrances, but they do such a good job. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. Okay, let's set this aside. All right, so now you can see that there's like this layer of oil down at the bottom. So put the lid back on really tight. Okay, and see how the oil has seeped all the way to the bottom. You see it moving around. What you do is you just shake these up, and you put it somewhere where you're going to see it. And several times a day, you pick it up and shake it, pick it up and shake it. Eventually, these will absorb. But I'm going to get these down to the bottom again. There's a gap. I don't know if you could tell. There's kind of a, I don't know, at least an inch or two gap here between the top of the beads. They're sticking to the jar, so it's hard to tell, but there's quite a big gap. But these take a long time to absorb, and every fragrance is different. There are some fragrances that only took maybe a day or two to absorb, and then others that are taking a week or longer. And it seems to be that the sweeter fragrances tend to take longer. So fragrances like cotton candy, vanilla, those fragrances seem to take quite a long time. And I've been told that leather is one of the ones that will take at least a week or two to absorb. So this is not a fast process, but you get a really cool like variety of things that you can do with them. So here are some that I've already done. This is peaches and cream, and you can see how they absorb the oil. And they must have, I think they swell up or something because now it's almost all the way to the top. And this had the same amount of beads as the other jar. I weigh them to make sure they have the same amount. And I've dyed these pink. I'm not going to dye the leather ones because I want to dye it separate colors, and I want to wait till after it's absorbed to dye it. And this one is rose. Okay, so I've got those two made. Oh, it looks like I got some oil in here. Let me wipe that off. And anyway, so And these two only took a couple of days really to absorb. Those were really good. And then I'll show you how they look after you bake them. So with these, you have to put them in molds, bake them in the oven, and then let them cool. And after they cool, you can pop them out. And I'm just going to grab a few that I've already done to show you. And what I do is I put them in scent-proof bags so that they retain their fragrance. And then, like I said, they're ornaments, so you hang them up. And these could be used in a car or in your house. And what I've been told is that they last longer in places like inside the house and things like that rather than inside the car if they get hot. If they get in hot temperatures, they tend to not last quite as long. But here's the first one's lavender. And so you see how it's baked into this like solid shape here. This is red hot cinnamon. And let me show you a couple others. This is chocolate. And it's got some icing on it. Here's another lavender, but a different shaped flower. Let's see. This one is orange essential oil. And some essential oils you can't do this with either because the essential oil burns off or because you just don't want to be baking that much concentrated essential oil in the house because it's, a little is good, but excuse me, a lot is not good. But this one was okay to do this with. This is Love Spell. And this is made with green beads. Yeah, the chocolate. I like doing the icing. That was fun. This is another red hot cinnamon, but I also put an icing on it, and I put glitter on the icing. Let me see. It's not coming through. I don't think. The cinnamon has a really good. It smells like a cinnamon red hots. It's really, really good. Okay, so let me show you. See if the glitter will come up. I don't know if you can see, but the icing itself has glitter on it. This is the front, and then this is the back. So some of them have holes in them. Like this one has a hole so I can string a ribbon through. Others, like this one, has a hook in the top. And I think I'm going to go with the hook in the top method because that way the hole, you don't risk the hole ruining the design. I'm glad you guys liked the icing. That was a lot of fun to do. So some of these are not done. Like this one, I haven't finished decorating. I didn't have a whole lot of time between when I finished these and this live to decorate more of them, but I am planning to do more decorating on them. So I'm going to put these back. Another option, and these I'm testing. I'm not sure what how I feel about them yet. These ones have vent clips. Let me just open this and show you. It smells really good. Okay, so this is what the front will look like this. And then on the back is one of those vent clips. So you can put it in your car on the, like if this is the vent, it slides onto the vent, like one of the little, you know what I'm talking about, how it has the little slats or whatever. And it sticks out like this. And then that way when you have, you can have it as like a decoration for your vent rather than hanging from the mirror. I'm going to see how these do. My main concern is that when these are in the bag, they stick up. And I'm just worried that it'll poke a hole in the bag. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a cute idea. And those can be decorated also, but I have to decide if I want the decoration facing up or this vent clip, because when I put it in the bag, if I put it the other way, I guess I could turn it around, but it'll be sticking up. So anyway, that is the first way that we can use them. Use the beads. Another way, I'm just going to go grab the thing I need from over here. Okay, here it is. So I have different sized organza bags. And I'm just going to grab this one. Let's see. That's true. I could turn it around and put a piece of bubble wrap around the vent clip. I might do that. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is this is how the little peach. This is peaches and cream, and I think no. This is not peaches and cream, is it? Yes, it is. It's peaches and cream. It smells really good. The cream is really, you can really smell the cream in this. Oh, this is good. Okay. Um, so what we can do with these is pour a little bit in one of these baggies. I'm just trying to focus here so they don't, because these little balls go everywhere if you spill them. Just dropped one, two. All right, we'll put a few more. Okay, that's good. All right, and then just pull it closed, and then you've got like this little pouch. In fact, that might be too many, but I have different size bags. And then you just hang this in your closet or in your room, in your car, or wherever. You can even put it in your drawer with your clothes, and it'll smell really, really good. So this would probably be a really good way to use the lavender for like putting in your drawers. But oh, this smells so good. I really like peaches and cream. But I thought it'd be fun. So, anyways, what I was getting at is there's a couple different ways of using these. You can use them like this, or they're in these little sachets, and you just hang them, or you can cook them. You can also pour these into jars that have the holes in the lid. I've done that before. I have the little jars with the holes, and then you just leave them out as like aroma beads. Okay, so that's a couple different ways. And then what I wanted to show you is how we cook them. They only take a few minutes. Behind the door at the bathroom. Yeah, exactly, with the cat litter box. Exactly. Yeah, you can put them on you can put them on a ceiling fan. I wouldn't put them on the blades though, but you can hang them from like the chains. You could attach the little baggie to the chain. All right, so what I have here is just an old pan, and this is a piece of parchment paper. So even though these molds are safe to go in the oven and all that, I just feel safer putting something down first. And then here is one of my heart molds. And that's what you saw before. The chocolate, the cinnamon, and some of the others were made with this mold. So I want to do, let's do some peaches and cream, and we can do some rose also. And what you do is you just pour these in, and depending on how deep the mold is, you want to either fill them all the way to the top or about 3/4 of the way. And these molds are pretty shallow, so I like to fill them a little extra. Where'd that bead go? One of them escaped. Okay, I'll find it later. I'm sure I will find it later. All right, so I'm just going to pat them down to try to get them somewhat even. And I like to make sure that they're filled, like the whole heart shape there is full. Okay. And let's do one more peaches and cream, and then we'll do a couple with rose. And this peaches and cream, I got this fragrance a while ago because I thought, oh, that just sounds so delicious, and it is. It smells amazing. The problem is it turns the soap brown, and I can use. I do have like a vanilla stabilizer that prevents the browning, but there are some designs where basically I just don't want to always have to use it, and I just want the soap to cooperate, and you know every extra thing I have to put in my soap costs a little bit, and I guess it's mostly like a cost thing. So using them this way is much better. These should not turn brown. I haven't had the other ones that I've cooked that had vanilla in them didn't turn brown, so it only seems to be in soap where it does that. You always taped yours to the top of the blade, Patty. So you like I don't know if legally I should advise that. I don't want to get in trouble if your fan breaks. But I will say that if you tape something to the fan blade, you're going to make that fan blade heavier, and it's going to um, like offset the fan slightly. Depending on your fan, that might not be a problem, but it can cause the fan to start to develop a wobble over time, and it can damage your fan. But if you had, I suppose, if you had one on each blade and they were the same like weight and shape and everything, that probably wouldn't be an issue. But that might be what might work better for that is probably something like this because it's flat already, like the fan blade, and it's doesn't weigh very much. And this would probably be a safer thing to use for something like that. But I don't know. I've never actually. I've been always been too chicken to put anything on my fan blade. So, um, but it sounds like a cool idea. It would blow the fragrance around. It would smell really good. Okay, so let's do the rose real quick. And this smells really good too. If you like rose, this is a very, very nice rose fragrance. And I'm only using this because I have so much rose. I used to sell a lot of rose soap um, at the craft fairs in person. I would sell a lot of rose soap because they pick it up and smell it and think, "Oh my gosh, that's such a good, like a true rose fragrance." But it seems like online they don't do as well. And since I haven't been doing the live shows, I thought I'd find another use just to kind of use up some of that fragrance rather than letting it go to waste. And then I can always get more if I need it. Okay, so there's the first one. And we'll do the second one. And then you can color them before or after they're done curing. These ones I did before, so when I poured the oil in the jars, I added the color at the same time. You can do it that way, but then if you want to make, like if I wanted to make a rose that was white, I wouldn't be able to because these beads are already like a reddish pink color. Um, but I could do them after, and that's what I'm going to do with the leather is I'm going to dye the beads after the beads have cured and give that a try. I think both ways work really well, but I kind of knew what color I wanted these to be, so I just did it ahead of time. Okay, so I've already got the oven preheated. I'm going to throw these in. They only take about 8 or 9 minutes, and then we can pull them out and look at them. Or what we'll do actually, since they do have to bake, we'll open these, or sorry, we'll unmold these on Thursday with the soap. So we'll unmold this, unmold the soap, and then I'll show you how we put the screws in these and maybe even decorate one of them. We could do like icing maybe on the peach. So let me go put this in the oven real quick. Okay, I've got the timer on. So we will come back and on Thursday, and we'll take those out of the mold. We could decorate them, put the screws in, and I can show you how they look. Another fun thing about these is that you could add glitter. You could add decorations to them besides just the paint. There's a lot of things, fun things you can do with them. And even after they lose their scent, they're still a cute ornament. So you can use them for decorating purposes. Um, but yeah, they're a lot of fun. And I thought this would be a good way to use up a lot of that, uh, fragrance oil that I have. Some of them I bought full size jars, even though I only needed them for one project, and then I just didn't have an opportunity to make that soap again. So um, I thought this would be a really fun way of, bringing the fragrance, like giving new life to the fragrance, I guess. Also, I think it'll be neat to have soap with like air fresheners with the same fragrance. So if there's a fragrance you really like, having it in an air freshener option to like have it match might be fun. And also some of them that smell really good as like a body fragrance, I could do like a roll-on perfume or something. So there'd be like the soap, the roll-on perfume, and then the air freshener with the fragrance. So those are some options. Just the only thing with these types of air fresheners is that, like I said, these take sometimes more than a week to cure. So I won't know, like if somebody orders it, they'd either have to wait for these beads to cure, or I would have to limit them by how much stock I have. Whereas the other ones, the flat ones, um, these, as I can make them as long as I have the blanks and the patterns to iron on. So, or to press on. So anyways, but these smell really, really good. I really actually like these, just because they're quick. You don't have to worry about the beads. You don't have to worry about the melting. Um, if I leave them in the oven, the other ones, if I leave them in the oven too long, they get ruined and they're useless. This is kind of fail proof, and they smell really good, and they're small and compact, and they're relatively um, they're really light. Like, I was going to say they're weightless, but they're not. They're just really light. So those are some benefits for those ones. But the other ones look like ornaments and they're cute. So you kind of take your pick. Let's see what you're saying here real quick. Stacy, I can, but there's nothing in my soap that should. I don't think I have anything in those soaps that melt. I don't think I use any melt and pour. Melt and pour is the only thing that would melt. So I can hold them for you, absolutely. But if you want, we can sun them, and uh, as long as, because I think as long as they're not like sitting on your porch for days and days, they should be fine. Um, the heat shouldn't melt them. In fact, I didn't have any kind of air conditioning here at all for a couple of years, and my soaps never melted, even though inside the house we had days where it got over 100, and it was humid too. But it's up to you. I will hold them for you if you want, or if you want me to go ahead and send them, I will. This looks like a pumpkin with the orange and the green. That's kind of cute. Maybe I should get a pumpkin scent on purpose for this. That'd be. Oh, this smells so good. This smells like exactly like peaches and cream. And like I said, that you can smell the cream. Like you should like cream doesn't really have a smell, but this does. I don't know how to describe it. This is really good. I love that fragrance. Let's see here. 111 tomorrow. Jeez, you guys need to chill out. Ha ha ha. Do they know when the temperature is going to come down? Like, is it going to be in the hundreds the rest of the month? Because that sounds pretty brutal. That's really hot. I don't know how people can stand the heat. I'm a pretty wimpy when it comes to hot temperatures. 10-day forecast over 100 every day. Oh my goodness. Wow. I hope you have a way of keeping cool because that just sounds miserable. I guess on the bright side, it's you're not under a bunch of snow, so either extreme, I guess, is bad depending on the situation. But yeah, I'll hold them for you if you want me to. That's totally fine. And also, you guys, go ahead and leave any comments, of course, and suggestions on anything else you'd like to see me make. If you like these air freshener ideas, and if you want to suggest anything else related to that, let me know. I'm definitely willing to try some ideas because this air freshener thing is new to me. I've only been, probably the last week or two, really been trying it out, doing some tests and stuff. So, you know, if there's any of you out there who maybe have done this before and you have some suggestions, or if there's something you'd like to see me make, definitely leave some comments. If you guys like the idea of like a set, like a soap, an air freshener, and a perfume that have the same fragrance, let me know. And I'll be getting some more shapes soon too. Right now I have two. Well, I've got like the oval shapes of the bars, but I've got hearts and I've got a big 4-leaf clover for like 4-H. I've got that, and everything else. Most of my other silicone type molds are either small for making soap embeds or they're soap bar shaped. So I don't have a whole lot of shapes yet, but I will be getting more soon. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Yeah, air conditioning aside, that's good. That makes all the difference. 16th hottest summer on record. Wow. Jeez. I hope it calms down. That sounds awful. Yeah, drink lots of water. No kidding. If only drinking water also made you feel better, right? Alrighty, guys. So in a couple of minutes, I gotta take out the air fresheners from the oven, and then, like I said, actually, you guys want to see what they look like when they come out? They look kind of cool. They just look they look basically the same, but a little bit shiny. And then they have to cool. They have to cool in the mold um, before I can pull them out. Otherwise, they get distorted and warped looking because they're kind of like melted plastic. Oh, another thing, you can leave them upside down, these jars, and then just flip it over if you don't have time to shake them. So you walk by and flip it over. But I find that shaking does a much better job if I had to choose one. What I want is something that, like a little roller bar thing that I can set this on that'll roll them for me. That would be awesome. Time saving. Oh, one of the beads escaped. I have to put it back in. There we go. Let's see if I can put this back together without losing more beads and defeating the purpose. Oh, they're stuck on the edge here. There we go. Okay. 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 Well, yeah, a stress reducer, right? Exactly, like a fidget toy, or yep, or like those lava lamp toys. They're not lava lamps. I forget what they're called, but they take like a bottle and they put like gel and glitter and stuff in them. They're definitely fun, and they're fun to watch because when the oil starts to get absorbed, when you shake them, they don't stick to the side of the jar anymore, and you can see the glitters and stuff, and it's just, yeah, it's fun. You loved everything, Lorna. I'm glad you liked it. Had a lot of fun making these. It looks like the timer's about to go off. Let me go. Let me go check and see how they look, and I'm sure they'll be done. So if they are, I can take them out and show you. Let me just get something to put the pan on. I don't want to put a hot pan on the directly on the table. Let me grab a thingy. Just put this down. And then, like I said, they do have to cool, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait till Thursday to take them out. But um, let me go grab them really quick. Okay, they need a couple more minutes. They were not fully melted. That's the first one that I've had. Um, Setting the timer again. That's the first one I've had not finish cooking in time. But this is a new scent that I haven't worked with yet, so that might be why. But they're looking good. They're almost done. 3. How many shakes does it take to absorb all the oil? 3. Yeah, if only it was 3. It's more like how many days is 3. So for this one, the peaches and cream, despite it being a really like sweet fragrance, that was done after just a couple of days. The rose took a little bit longer. The rose took about 3 or 4 days. The color is sticking to the side a little bit, but the beads themselves are not. And then, yeah, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? The world may never know. But this one, I'm expecting this to take a long time. This leather. I also have lavender made. I have love spell. I have some cinnamon. I think I still have cinnamon left. I tried licorice. Licorice smelled pretty good. I only made a little bit because I just wanted it for me. I don't imagine a lot of people wanting to smell the smell of licorice. Um, but that the licorice took a little while too. It took longer than I expected it to. Um, so if I do make more of that, I'm gonna have to give it a little extra time. And I feel like I had to. Oh yeah, I made the chocolate. I do have vanilla, but even though I made it like a week ago, it's still absorbing the oil. It's still not done. And then I have I wanted to make a fresh scent, like something that just smells fresh and clean. So I made one that's scented with rain. And I think I know exactly what mold I want to put the rain in. So if I can get that mold, I will do that. But the rain smells really good. It's a fresh, clean, almost like outdoorsy type fragrance. That one was really good. I could have sworn there were some more I made. I'm just off the top of my head. I'm not thinking of them. Let me go check the beads. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We'll just set this down. There. So they look kind of the same as before. They're just a little bit more shiny. And now we just need to let these sit and cool down. I don't know if you can tell, but I can see on the side of the mold they kind of sink down a little bit. They do that when they cook because they are melting basically. That's why I filled the mold all the way to the top. And since this mold isn't very deep. So, anyways, these look super cute so far. And the glitter on these, they're a little bit shimmery. They're not super, super glittery though. But these look really nice. And then, like I said, what we'll do is I'll get them unmolded on Thursday, and then maybe we can decorate them or something. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me make these, and we can add them to the shop later and see what you guys think. And this might be another way for you guys to get the scents that you like rather than just in soap form. Now we have the option of putting it into air fresheners and things. And also these little square air fresheners, these ones that I showed you before, these ones I could put any scent on them and then like I said, they'll be done in like a day. So those don't take nearly as long like for a cure time or anything like that. Um, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Patty. Yeah, I thought they're really fun to make. And when I looked up like how to make these, it's really cool watching them being made and all the different fun things you can do with them to decorate. I have a lot of really cool ideas, but I definitely am wanting to hear from you if you guys have any good ideas that you want to try or you want to see me, you know, do or whatever. I'm gonna I'm gonna put this in here, these little bags to kind of hold the scent in, and then put the string. There we go. Let me move the tape. Okay. Ugh, it's static on me. Okay. And just fold this over. There we go. All right, this way it'll hold the scent in and I can handle it without getting the fragrance on me. So that is how those will be packaged for now. Um, I may start putting them in the rainbow packs, the little rainbow bags that I showed you earlier, the holographic ones. I may put them in that, but I'm just going to put this in here for now so I can set it down without it affecting anything. But yeah, so yeah, this was a really fun experiment. I'm having a lot of fun with this. And then, like I said, it gives me another way to use the fragrances. So, I mean, again, if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and let these cool and then we'll unmold them Thursday. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It was so good to see you guys again. And everything should be going back to normal now that I'm starting to feel better. So smaller ones that would fit into those small net bags. Yeah, I could. Yeah, definitely. We could make small ones to put in the net bags. The only reason I'm trying to make them bigger is because the scent lasts longer if they're bigger. So that was why with the little net bag I showed you, I didn't bake those beads first. But yeah, you definitely could put them in the small ones in little net bags. And if they're not in an extreme heat situation, like if they're indoors or whatever, the fragrance will last a lot longer. So. Alrighty, guys. Yep. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys Thursday.